Such a beautiful tune, isn't it? Good evening and welcome to Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. Right here on these fine radio stations have decided to carry us. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is, of course, um, what can I say? A labor of love, as I call it. Yes, it's a labor of love because I really don't get paid to do this, but I do. It's hard to explain. It's truly hard to explain, but yeah, that's what I do. Anyway, coming up in our last hour, we do a little thing we call foreplay. And that's not what you think. It's four songs by one of your favorite artists or groups, male or female. Okay, cool. All right, cool. All right. Now, with that in mind, let's get the show on the road. If I can find a nice song to play at first. Let's see now. No, I don't want that one. No, not that one either. No. Uh, how about? Yeah, this would be a good song to start out with. I normally don't play anything this current, but I think I'll play this one. Here's Jodeci, written by Albie Shore. Forever My Lady on Bedtime Stories. Forever my baby, means so much to me. Family. You and I. My lady. It's like a dream. Keeping you warm. Mm-mm. Oh. Hello, hello. Come on in, ladies and gentlemen. Ronnie, what's going on? And you too, Mr. Greer. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, good evening. Welcome to the Bedtime Stories show on Facebook. So we have Facebook. We have um, I'm on what is it? Twitch. I'm also on YouTube. All at the same time. How cool is that? Of course, StreamYard. So all at the same time. How is that even possible? I don't know. It's all possible. The magic of social media. Anywho, hoping that I see everyone on Saturday at my birthday party, my birthday brunch that I have each and every year at the New Look restaurant. Hope they're ready for me. I might need to put a call in, make sure everything is. Oh man, we forgot, man. What is it this Saturday? I hate for that to happen, right? And people standing outside now. Oh man, it was this Saturday, man. I don't think they do me like that, right? No, a couple of these women, they would probably do me like that. That's of course, yeah. That's a whole different story. I guess that means I have to make a guest appearance. That would be nice. That would be really nice since I mean, yeah. I'm gonna have a money box or money trio or something like that. And of course, Ronnie, you're going to bring the money tree, okay? You're like, why do I have to bring the money tree? Because I have dubbed you the money tree lady. So bring the money tree, please. Please, please. Yeah. Right, yes. Money tree, yes. Okay, yeah, okay. I'm just saying. So, yes, you are officially the money tree lady. Just saying. Oh, yes, the money tree lady. Yes, the money tree lady's here. Yes. I know that's over exaggerating. I know. I guess I'll be nice and do. Yeah, that would be nice to be nice. That's our motto at one of the churches that I go to. It's nice to be nice. right now. Okay. The impressions, and I'm so proud, right here on Bedtime Stories. The show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed, but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Just saying hello to a few people. Well, actually, one person who's in the chat room right now. That is Ronnie. Hello to Ronnie. Hello, Ronnie. Also to Chiffon Miller, who's hiding. She's not saying anything, but that's okay. Let's see. I got 4 people watching me on Facebook as we speak, but it won't let me see the other 3 people. Chiffon Miller is one of those people. Thank you, Chiffon. Hopefully, I'll see you this Saturday at my birthday brunch. It's my birthday. It's my birthday. Well, actually, my birthday is December 23rd, which is next Friday. But, by my birthday being so close to Christmas, every year I have my party a week before, during Sagittarius season. So, of course, the 23rd actually starts Capricorn. So it's like right on the cusp. So I hope to see everybody this Saturday, 2544 East 83rd Street. It's the New Look Restaurant from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. I know most of you all will be hanging out with Ray Neal and his crew. So I'm sure that whole crew will not be attending my soiree. They never do. Thanks for the support. Gee, thanks. Here are the Temptations. My love, my love. Life is but a dream. Shaboom. Shaboom. Life is but a dream. Shaboom. Shaboom. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yes. Saturday. Well, I cannot wait. I just want to see who's going to come. Now, as it always plays out this way, the people that I invite never show up. It's those that show up that are not invited or that I don't think will come. It's always a whole different thing. I'm like, wow, I wasn't expecting her to come or him to come. So it's like it's always a surprise. It's like I give my own surprise party. The surprise is who's going to show up after sending out so many invitations. So I know that's how it always goes. And then the people who don't show up, it's like, nah, I knew they weren't going to show up. I had a feeling they weren't going to show up. Like I know all the people that work for Ray Neal are not going to be there, which is sad because some of them also are on my station. Mr. Hypnotic, Ralph Liggins. I know that they're not going to show up to my party because they're going to be with Ray Neal. Did you post the plugger? Yes, I did. I posted it and sent it personally to certain people. So, um, but once again, I know that certain people are not going to show up. And if they do, I'm going to be so surprised that they showed up. Like, oh, look, you know, I can give you a list of people that I have invited that I know are not going to show up. Hmm. Yeah. So I'm going to post it one more time tomorrow, and you know how it goes. You know, you throw out the bait and see what you can catch. So, you know, I know positive thoughts. I know. But once again, Ray Neal Media is having their little soiree on Saturday, the same time as mine. So I'm like, oh, okay. So, once again, I know none of them are going to come to my party. You know, it's like, you know, screw Al Greer. We don't care about him anymore. You know, but yes, I try to keep positive thoughts. But it's like, it's like the closer that I get to that date, that I start thinking, this is not a good idea to have this. You know, I should just stop doing this. Yes, but you know, I'm not sure when the party is, but I'm sure I'm busy that day. Thank you, Troy. This is the man who showed up to my first wedding. But anyway, so, but it's cool. I understand. But, once again, for those of you who care, it's this Saturday at the New Look Restaurant, 2544 East 83rd Street. That's 83rd in Colfax. I think that's the street that's right next to it. Yes, I know it well because it's where I almost lost my life. So I will remember that as long as I live. Yeah. That was the night that I DJ'd over there. That was that Friday that my niece's truck burnt up. I mean, yeah. So that was a crazy night right there. Um, Old guy's birthday party at the New Look. But once again, it was an interesting night. I ended up DJing there anyway. People were like asking, "Are you okay? Are you all right?" And I'm just, I'm just shaking my head, trying to get the smoke out my throat because I went back in the truck trying to get all my equipment out. What was I thinking? I don't remember. I was acting on pure adrenaline. I was just determined I was going to get my stuff out of that truck. People kept saying, truck gonna blow up. I'm like, you all watch too much television. It takes a while for that spark to get all the way to the back of the truck to, the gas tank. So, but I made it. I made it out of there. I mean, at one point, I, all I remember is going back in the truck, and it was just totally black. I couldn't see anything. Not like I could light a match, right, and see, or flashlight or whatever. And I'm like, my phone is in there. So once, once the Chicago Fire Department hosed down the truck, one of the firefighters reached in there and said, "Is this your phone, sir?" I was like, phone was unscathed. I was like, wow. I still can't believe it. But, it wasn't, like they said, this wasn't my time. It wasn't my time to go. So, I'm just, and I ended up doing the party too. They're like, "Al, you don't have to, like, look, I came here to work, and that's what I'm going to do because I can and I will and I'm gonna." And they paid me, and I had no way home, none whatsoever. So, but that was an interesting night. That's a night that I will never forget for the rest of my life. I'll be telling my grandkids, your stupid pawpaw ran into a burning car. That is one of my favorite songs by Alexander O'Neal. It's called Sentimental. I just love that song. There's a line in the song that says, "But our age got in the way." Our age got what does that mean? Alex, was she too young or something, or what? Oh yeah, story of my life. Yeah, she's too young for you. Someone asked me last week, they said, "Why do you insist on dating women who are younger than you?" I don't insist on it. I just like a certain type of woman. And that woman doesn't wear support hose, flat shoes, a moo and a blue wig. I'm sorry. That just doesn't turn me on. I'm sorry. And cat eye glasses. That's just not the woman for me. I'm sorry. You know, it's like one of the comedians said. She said, "I don't want no Chesters and no Jessies." She said, "I want some." and I hear you. I don't know no Agathas and Francescas. I want some Tamikas and some Shamikas and you know those hard to pronounce African names that they gave their children back in the 70s and 80s. I'm just saying. Anyway, it's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed, but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. Now, if she's my age and she looks fly and goes by the name of Queen, that's a different story because that's yeah. In the words of Steve Harvey, I'm gonna stay fly till I die. I'm gonna find my queen. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Johnny. Guitar Watson. I just want to ta-ta you, baby. It's Bedtime Stories. Would you say ain't nothing wrong with the Walmart nightgowns? That's what I'm talking about. That That ain't sexy at all. There's nothing sexy about that. No. Grandma had too many kids with that moo moo. I know, right? Uh-uh. I used to date this girl. As a matter of fact, I was engaged to her. And she's like, this is my sexy nightgown. It had like diagrams to cut out holes to make it look sexy, but it was just one big ass t shirt that said, this is my sexy nightgown. I'm like, if you don't take that off, I'm like, really? Ew. I'm like, if you don't, ooh, take that thing off. It was not sexy at all. I'm sorry. Nothing. It reeked old lady. And I remember she had a conversation with one of her aunts, I think it was. Like on one side of her family, everybody was saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost. On the other side of the family, it was a bunch of druggies and, you know, uh, people who did, God knows what. And it was one of her aunts that told her um, what she needed to do to keep her man interested. Sounds like my family, yeah. AJ Parker, where is she? Don't be teasing me like that. Where was I? Oh yeah. So one side of the family was, a group of ministers, and she had a cousin who was a minister. His father was a minister, and so on and so forth. Her father is a minister, so on and so forth. And just an interesting, bunch of people. But once again, her aunt told her, hey, this is what you need to do to, keep out. So one night, she came, she came to bed, right? And I was like, I noticed something was not the same. She had, how can I say this without sounding nasty? Well, I'll just put it out there because I started and I'm going to finish it. Um, she had ice in her mouth. She, um, use your imagination as to where I'm going with this, okay? Yep, it was yeah, ice. We get the picture. Okay, cool. All right. It was quite an evening, to say the least, because it was something that she had never done before. You know, it was quite chilling, to say the least. Chilling. Hmm. It's like the it's like the grapefruit lady meets Mr. Freeze. I tell you, like, ooh. But it was quite a night. I will say that, you know. Then the other side of her family was saying, if you keep putting it on him like that, he'll never marry you. Well, guess what? She took the advice of the wrong side of the family. In doing so, she lost me because she totally cut me off. Cold turkey, like, no more. You're done. You're going to marry me first, and then I'm going to continue with the ice tray. Until then, you use your icy hands. So that was it. So I ended up moving out. I mean, I moved out. I'm like, I can't do this no more. Yep. And I moved not far from where she lived, and not far from where I live now. I was on 61st and Laughlin. I moved over there, which was an apartment building owned by my great aunt. And at the time, my apartment wasn't ready yet. So she let me stay in the 3-bedroom apartment, which was overhead. And then the 2-bedroom apartment, you know, had to be redone. Well, somebody kept breaking into the apartment and stealing all the stuff that was supposed to, be used to fix the apartment. So finally we had to put the dog in the apartment. The dog meaning Hunter. Hunter was a former police dog. So we had to put Hunter in the apartment so the stuff wouldn't get stolen. And hopefully they didn't kill Hunter. So, you know. But of course it was somebody that we knew. Somebody who was on the block. So yeah. They kept breaking in and stealing the stuff. You know. But anyway. I remember it well. That was it was a nice apartment. As a matter of fact, it resembled that of my aunt's house, which was right next door. So, everything was, pretty much the same. It's just next door was the actual house, and then next door to that was a little bitty apartment, which was they're about the same size. That apartment had a big living room, kind of like the one I have now. So, but anyway, to, to make a long story short, I live not far from that apartment now. So, was that a good story or what? No, that is just all over the place, wasn't it? Anyway, Ken said, "Hey, Miss AJ Parker, where is AJ? Is AJ watching me now? I don't know if she's even friends with me on Facebook." I haven't seen AJ in ages. Now we talked about dang, it's been almost a year. No, she called one night, right? And she was drunk. I never will forget it. I'm like, AJ, can I call you tomorrow? And she just kept going on and on. I said, well, can I call you tomorrow? And she just kept going. And, you know, Troy had his little 2 cents that he was putting in. I'm like, okay, all right, I'll hang up on her. But she was just going and going. I'm like, AJ, whatever you had to drink or smoke, could you bring me some, please? Because, every now and then I like to partake in a little, like I was on, I got a little rash behind my ear, trying to kill it. So I was on TikTok one day and I saw one of my daughters and she was partaking in some sort of smoke ritual that she was doing. I was like, Yo, can I get some of that? Hey. And of course, it was like, no, you know you don't smoke. I'm like, oh, okay, never mind. I don't smoke. You're right. I do not. So, needless to say, I didn't get anything to smoke. So, it is what it is. You know, I gave up smoking for Lent. So, that's it. Anyway, once again, looking forward to seeing you guys on Saturday. The New Look Restaurant, 2544 East 83rd Street. For those of you who are not working on Saturday, like my sister, working on Saturday. Yeah, sure you are. But working. I'm the only person that works on Saturday. You know, unless you're a DJ, you don't work Saturdays. Nobody works Saturdays. Especially if you work at home, you can always call off, right? You know. At the time that song came out, everybody thought that was Nancy Wilson, but it was a young lady by the name of Marlena Shaw. That was the only big hit besides doing, some jazz tunes. That is "Go Away, Little Boy," and the rap in the front was called "Yuma." Yuma. Anyway, it's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Once again, hello to Ronnie, also to Ken Watlington and AJ Parker, who's out there listening to me. I believe she is. Arlita, give me a call. You know my number. Call me now. Call me now. Like I missed Mr. Cleo. Yeah. Here's the first of two in a row from Smokey Robinson. This is Daylight or Darkness. Darkness. Twin Brother Darkness on Bedtime Stories. Smokey. Mm-mm. You be daylight and darkness at the same time. Hard to handle. Where is everybody tonight? I don't even see AJ Parker. AJ Parker. Do, 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 do. See, that's what I get for being on Facebook at the same time. So shout out to Pamela Hawkins. You're like, who is Pamela Hawkins? Um, Pamela Hawkins picked me up the other night. She was my Lyft driver the night that I went to the Kim concert. The young lady whom I was with um, said that she could not see at night. She was the one that drove because, of course, you know, um, I don't have a vehicle. So she came and picked me up while it was still, daylight outside. We went to the concert. I drove, of course. I drove her car and drove her back home, and I took a lift home. Aren't I a nice guy? So, yep, I dropped her off in her car, and I took a lift home. And the young lady that drove me home in the lift, we kind of sort of had a little conversation. And I'm surprised that she didn't ask me, well, what's trick question? Go ahead, ask me. I'm just surprised that she didn't say, well, didn't you just leave another woman's house and you're trying to holler at me? And it's funny because that question never came up. So, we've been texting each other back and forth ever since. So she just happened to hold up her phone while she was, dropping me off, and I saw her last name. I was like, okay. So I sent her a friend request on Facebook, and she accepted it. And yeah, she she texted me the other day. She said someone was in her car while she was, doing her rounds, the lifting, and someone urinated in the back of her car. I was like, oh, that's not good. And then today she said that Lyft shut her down. I was like, shut you down? She said, yeah, after 12 hours they shut you down. I'm like, you were driving for 12 hours? What the? Like, oh my God, 12 hours? I'm like, when do you sleep? Yeah. Like, who says I sleep? I'm like, dang. But yeah, someone let go in the back of their car. I don't know if they meant to do it, but either way it goes, Ronnie, you is the correct response. In the back of your car? Really? You know, at one point, shouldn't they have said, look, lady, I need you to pull over so that I can, you know, do my thing? That would have been, yeah, the appropriate response, you know, you know. I got to go. You got to pull over now. Anyway, otherwise, it's like, would you say, Ronnie, ain't that much driving the world? 12 hours? Good Lord. And she was telling me, yeah, right, stop at the nearest gas station or the nearest alley or pull over on the side of the road, whichever. You know, I'm like, whoa. But 12 hours, who drives for 12 hours? Good Lord. That's a lot of driving. You know, she says, well, she said, well, I take breaks. And then I said, yeah, but they shut you down after 12 hours. At what point did you take a break? You just go pick up as many people as you can. I get it. The money is easy. All you got to do is drive. and hopefully nobody knocks you out. It's good money. I understand it. I get it. But still, it's like that's too much. You're right. Too much wear and tear on your car. It's like, you got people jumping in and out of your car. It's just, and not yesterday morning, but before that, I had the worst Lyft driver she looked like she hadn't been asleep in 12 hours. It's like, good grief. From the album Quiet Storm, The Agony and the Ecstasy. Smokey Robinson right here on Bedtime Stories. With your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. We have a special phone number that you can call us, 773-675-2400. Call often, call as many times as you want to. But bear in mind, I will hang up on you if it's some foolishness. Like the other night when the guy was like, how come you don't like to be called black? Like I'm a melting pot of a whole bunch of people. I had an uncle that they called the old Dutchman because, he had an olive complexion and he had green eyes. So they called him the Dutchman because he looked like he was Dutch. We got a crazy mixture in our family, I tell you. The Greers, the Hardimans, all of those people, just all mixed up. Black, white, you name it. You name it. We're just a mishmash of every ethnicity that you can think of. On the other side of my family, that's just my dad's side. My mother's side, Indian. So when people say, I got Indian in my family because I got that good hair. No, my great grandmother was an actual Indian. Trust me. Trust and believe. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed, but never to sleep, with the greatest love songs of all time. Hello to Dee Dee, who is watching me now on Facebook Live. But of course, she's not commenting, but that's okay. Here's Sylvia and Come Here, Sweet Stuff. And where I'm coming from. Hope what to see, and I hope you like me. Mother Nature will do the rest. Come here, sweet stuff. Minute or two for me. Crib with a water bed and a bottle of wine on ice. To my place, it could really be nice. For a long time. What can I lose? To my place, it could really be nice. Keep your day job. Whatever. You should hear me singing on Sunday. You wouldn't say that. Sunday is probably the only day of the week that I sound good. So, because I'm singing for the Lord. Roberta, what's up, Berta? Sweet stuff. Do 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 it, baby. Yeah. Another night, all right. Let me get off this Facebook. It's like I'm neglecting you guys because I'm on Facebook, even though I'm on Facebook. Sweet stuff. Mm. The lady who discovered the Sugar Hill Gang, Sylvia Robinson, formerly of Mickey and Sylvia. Mm-mm. Doo-ba-doo-doo. Yep, the godmama of rap. Yep, I think she was one of the first ones to put rappers on, an actual record. Before that, they were making bootleg records of, but she had an actual record label, which was named Sugar Hill Records, and they became the Sugar Hill Gang. So, which was kind of cool. Shout out to Sylvia. May she rest in peace. Yeah. Her son, what is his name? Um, it'll come to me. Last name Robinson, of course, but the son and not the father, uh, um, Joey Robinson. He's currently, I think, touring with the Sugar Hill Gang. There's only two remaining members of the Sugar Hill Gang. Big Bang Hank, of course, made his transition a few years ago. So, yeah. So, Big Bang Hank. Well, they said that he never wrote any of his raps. That he was a perpetrator. He was, he had to go get somebody else to write his stuff for him. The other guys, they wrote their own stuff. So, yeah. But, it kind of worked out. Um, Wonder Mike and Master G are still with us. So they still tour as the Sugar Hill Gang. Yeah. But Big Bang Hank, they said he never wrote any of his stuff. All of that stuff was written by some guy. It's kind of like Dolomite. Dolomite got his stuff from this other guy, who wrote, those nasty rap poetry songs that Dolomite used to recite. So, everybody has a ghostwriter. If they're not a good writer, then they have someone who writes the stuff for them. And that was the case with Big Bang Hank. They said he never wrote anything. You know, when his part came for Rapper's Delight, you know, he got that from somebody else. Well, I'm imp the dimp, the ladies pimp, the women fight for my delight, and I'm the grand master with the three MCs. He didn't write none of that. It's like, dang. You know, he just put his name in there. A big bang. And then don't stop. You know, the other two were like, okay. But at the time it was considered at first a novelty song because, you know, first of all, nobody else was doing it. You know, they were doing it in New York and, you know, taking songs and rapping over them and then recording them onto cassettes and playing them at parties as, you know, a whole song. But nothing ever got put on wax until 79 when they did Rapper's Delight. And once again, everybody thought it was just a novelty song. It's like, okay, so somebody just took Good Times and rapped over it. So, yeah. And then a few years later, uh, one of my favorite non-rap songs that come out of that era was the Adventures of Grandmaster Flash, where he was just scratching. You know, the foundation of it was Good Times, but he was just, you know, mixing other songs into it, and they put it on wax and they put it on Sugar Hill Records. They called it The Adventures of Grandmaster Flash, and it was some of the greatest scratching of all time that I'd ever heard. I'm like, and nobody was ever to duplicate that song and to do it live, but Grandmaster Flash. You know, I mean, it had Good Times in it. It had Rapture by Blondie. Um, just a whole bunch of. It had Eighth Wonder by Sugar Hill Gang. I mean, just a whole bunch of scratching on one song. Someone. Oh yeah, Barry White, Love Unlimited. In the background, I found someone right here on Bedtime Stories. A few years ago, I did an interview on two of the members of Love Unlimited, Glodine and her sister Linda. I was like, I had to tell her, I said, look, I've had a crush on you ever since. I just I just love me some Glodine, them long ass nails. I just love me some Glodine. Anyway, it's Bedtime Stories with the Peanut Butter Brother, Dr. Al Greer, right here on WOSD Radio, DB Chicago, WGLB Indianapolis, and WRLN, the best music of your life. And Bedtime Stories is brought to you by our good friends over at Grubhub. Da-da, 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 da-da. Or grab what you love, whichever. Grubhub is a proud sponsor of Bedtime Stories with the Peanut Butter Brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories, and I have, I'm sure um, you all have heard already um, the very disturbing news that I was awakened to this morning about Twitch. For those of you who Twitch is, his real name was Stephen, I think it was Stephen Boss, I think it is. He was the DJ on the Ellen DeGeneres show up until a few years ago when Ellen decided to call it quits. He was also on the show So You Think You Can Dance. He returned um, as a judge on that particular show, and he took his own life yesterday, age 40. I believe he had just celebrated a birthday or anniversary or something like that, and he took his own life. Great dancer. He participated. He was a choreographer and everything, and he took his own life, and that was just very disturbing. 40 years old, 40 years young, and took his own life. That still, wow, it's still rough, you know. And it's funny because when you hear about that, when other people die, and you feel like you've known them. It's like, man, I watched him on Ellen all the time. He was the DJ on Ellen, and he was always, and then he was dancing on the show. So You Think You Can Dance, and then he turned into one of the judges on Do You Think You Can Dance. And yeah, Ronnie, mental illness is truly real. If you think it's a joke, and I say this all the time, men suffer in silence. While you all are out there talking about how men ain't this and men ain't that, and we don't do this, and we ain't no good, and we this, that. And then you think about it, and then you come home, and there's your husband, your boyfriend, or whatever, laid out on the floor. It's hard enough being a black man in America. It really is. It's hard enough. But I guess to be, on the radio and all of that stuff, well, not on the radio, but, in the public eye, it's just, man, just rough. And I can just imagine how rough it was for him to be in the public eye, because I am. And, mental illness is for real. So guys, I'm begging you, I'm pleading with you to go get help. If you are going through something, go get help. Ask somebody, talk to somebody, talk to your pastor, one of the church mamas, somebody. Talk to someone. Don't suffer in silence. You don't have to. You don't have to. Here's Luther on Bedtime Stories. You cried. I was like, no. When I saw it, I was like, no, no. I was like, no. Please tell me that this is a joke. No. So, yeah, it was for real. You know, it was the last thing I wanted to see when I got up this morning. And of course, we were talking about it all day at work. We were talking about him as if he were a family member. Why didn't he get help? Why didn't he ask someone to help him? And the answer is real simple, because we suffer in silence all the time. We don't feel like we need any help. We just don't. So therefore, we just brush it off like it, as if there's nothing wrong. Until it's too late. Then when it's too late, then everybody's like, "Well, what happened? What happened to him? Why didn't he reach out to anyone?" Because when you're watching him now on Ellen, why didn't he seek help? Once again, some guys feel like they are invincible. Others are ashamed of their condition. You know, here is this young man in great health, 2 kids. I think he had 2 or 3 kids, beautiful wife. What could possibly be wrong in his life where he would want to take his own life? What could happen? I said it's harder when your family doesn't understand or support. It truly is. It truly is when it's hard to explain to somebody that what you're going through. They don't understand it either. And I always say, women are more coddling towards each other than we are. We don't do that. We give each other dap. We might hug each other or whatever, and that's it. Hey man, how you doing? Okay, cool. Bam. You leave him, and next thing you know, it's like, old boy blew his brains out the other night. It's like, well, I just saw him. I just gave him dap. I just hugged him. I said, brother, it's good to see you. You know, you made it through the pandemic, and unfortunately, he took his own life. He felt like his life wasn't worth living, and in me being transparent, if you allow me to be transparent, um, there was a point where I thought the same thing. I thought the same thing. I said, my life isn't worth living. I've been through 2 marriages, 2 failed marriages. I got kicked out 3 or 4 times, this, that, and the other. I haven't had a permanent residence in the last 6 years. So my mail has been going all over the place. When I thought I had a permanent address, that was the one out in Park Forest. Then I got locked out of there. So it's like, and it's funny because a good friend of mine made a comment. He said, with what's been going through, what the 2 of us have been going through. I said that he said, no wonder we didn't go to the other side. I said, the other side? Oh, you turn gay? Oh no, no, it ain't got that. Ain't that serious yet. No, it hasn't gotten to that point yet. you know, I said, but I understand. Trust me, I understand. It's not, it ain't easy. With everything falling falling down around you. It's like one of those movies. It's like, what's that movie? Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. It's like you running and everything behind you is falling down. That's how I feel sometimes. He lost his income base and the holidays are coming. This is the first holiday he had to make a huge lifestyle adjustment for him and his family. And once again, no, this man had a bright future behind him. He could have worked anywhere doing anything. And I'm sure if he'd asked Ellen for her millions, that she would have kicked him down. But we always have that black man pride. We can't ask anybody for nothing because our pride won't allow us to. And I'm sure if he had just gone to Ellen and said, look, I'm sure she'd have made a job for him. I'm sure she just didn't let him, say, hey, look, show's over. Go home. That's it. We're done. And I'm sure it didn't go down like that, But with his talent, he could have worked anywhere. He could have worked as a choreographer because he was a hell of a dancer. He could have done anything. He could have been a real DJ. Hell, Questlove is a real DJ when he's not playing drums on the Tonight Show. He can do a whole set using a flash drive. I've heard of him doing it. So, he's a bad man. But there are always ways to make money. Only if you apply yourself to it. A few years ago, what's up? Shake and bake. What's going on, Russ? I mean, a few years ago, I didn't have a job. I didn't have a place to stay. I was sleeping in my office over on 79th and East End. I was sleeping in my office on a futon. My bedroom was my office. The studio, people would be on the air next door and I'd be over there asleep watching my TV, which is probably still there. People, I hear people going in and out, but I was just too bummed out to go over and say hi. I just, Ken said it's a fact that African Americans understand or support their loved ones. Sad what happened, but suicide is such a selfish act. He has children 12 days before Christmas. Now she is left to explain to their children that he won't ever be back again. I've said that too, Russ. And like I was beginning to say, I felt like that a few years ago. Like I said, I was sleeping in my office. I remember my wife would come do the show with me, but after that, she would leave and go home. And I would go back into the building and go to bed. I remember one night walking her to her car, and I was just standing in the middle of the street, and she pulled off, and she stopped. She backed up. She got out of the car. She hugged and kissed me, got back in the car and went home. I was like, oh, hey, Queen. Of course, that wasn't the reaction that I was looking for. I was looking for, if you don't get your butt in this car, come on home. That was 7 years ago. Temptations and Lady Soul right here on Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. We're still talking about Twitch, who was 40 years old, took his life 12 days before Christmas. And Russell Baker put it so well. He said, sad what happened, but suicide is such a selfish act. He has children 12 days before Christmas. Now, his wife is left to explain to their children why daddy won't be back again. It is a selfish act. It really is. Queen Deborah says, yes, depression is real. Just ask her. This is a lady who survived cancer, who was cut on and chemotherapy and everything else. And, you know, she lost all of her hair. But what she didn't lose is her spirit. That she didn't lose. She didn't lose her faith. She didn't lose that. She didn't lose her house. She had a nice house. She didn't lose any of that because she didn't lose her faith. She never gave up. Now, depression is real, folks. I will tell you. It is. I've gone through it myself and still kind of going through it now, especially this time of year, not having my parents around. My mother was my support system, and now I don't have her. My father was her support system. Now I don't have him. So it's just for those of you who are suffering from it, especially this time of year, I want you to do this. I want you to take your right hand and put it on your left shoulder. I want you to take your left hand and put it on your right shoulder. And I want you to tell yourself that I'm better than this. And we're going to make this. We're going to make it through this season together, all right? Because I'm going to do the same thing before I go to bed. It's Bedtime Stories with your doctor, Al Greer, and Dionne Warwick, and Deja Vu, written by Mr. Isaac Hayes. Right here on Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Hey, Terry from Gary. You're welcome, sweetheart. Terry from Gary. Glad you preserved and hung in there. Thankful for you, my brother. Yeah. I had a dream one night. And in the dream, I had died. And I was watching my own funeral. And my granddaughter walked up to the box and she yelled, "Papa!" Just like that. And I woke up out of that dream. And my thoughts of suicide were over at that point. That dream snapped me back into reality. I mean, in her loudest voice, as small as she is, she said, "Papa!" Like, wake up. And I did. It's selfish. It is. It's a selfish act. You know, it's a selfish act because when you think about it, you know, first of all, when you know you're going to hell because your life is not yours to take. So you're going to hell, first of all. And second of all, you have to think about everybody that you're leaving behind that love you, that care for you, that depend on you, whether it be mentally, spiritually, or monetarily. You've cut those people off. If people depend on you to be there for them and you take your own life, then it's a selfish act. Because now who do they depend on? You're gone. You know, so what? Who cares about insurance money? Once that money's gone and they're lost again. They are lost. Like the song says, that I'm lost without you. They'd be lost without you. If my mother had not taught me how to save money, I would be lost right now. I wouldn't be sitting here in this house, in this apartment. I would not be here right now. I would be under a viaduct somewhere. And that's the truth. Even with all the talent and everything I have, I would be lost. You know, she always said, spend a little, save a little. She said, once your bills are paid, the rest of the money that you have left, that's yours. I said, well, what if there's no money left? And that you still got lights, you got gas, you got this, you got that, car note, all of that stuff. And that's just it. Insurance doesn't pay out for suicide. Oh, well, there you go. Well, there you go, right there. Unless it's in a trust. Okay. So there you go. Your life is not your own to take. And I guess you think if you commit suicide that the insurance money will pay for your people's living expenses. Right there. Unless it's in a trust. So Al, your Phyllis Hyman took her life through suicide. She was selfish. Yes, she was. She didn't have to go out like that. Phyllis was clinically depressed. She was depressed. She was dependent on drugs, not uppers and downers. She was doing cocaine to numb the pain. She was drinking. So the doctors had prescribed some medication for her, and she took it. And she swallowed it down with some booze, and she did it. Yeah. Check comment above. So yes, Phyllis, yeah. Donny Hathaway, same way. Same way with Donnie. Donny Hathaway was clinically depressed. He was schizophrenic. Donnie would hear people, he said people were out to get him. So instead of letting the people get him, he took his own life so that they wouldn't get him. They said there was no Hold on, let me go back up to your comments, Russ. Trouble don't last always. He was not at the end of his rope. He was on TikTok 2 days ago. He has five. He has children to live for him. Dig deep and live for them. It's sad that he left so many questions, and it's not fair. You're absolutely right. He was on TikTok 2 days ago, and I can't. Thank you, Russ. I can't believe that he had no one to help him out. All the people he knew in Hollywood. I mean, Ellen could have. I mean, if it was that bad, uh, I'm sure Ellen could have helped him out and other people. Because if you look at all the comments, to Tanika Ray from Extra, and so many other people, Sherry Shepard. I mean, he touched so many lives. You mean to tell me he couldn't reach out to them and say, "Look, hey, I do it all the time. Closed mouth don't get fed. I'll ask in a heartbeat." you know. But see, that's just it. You know, if if I need something, then I need something. I'm going to ask for it. You know, and 9 times out of 10, if I get a certain amount of money, I start giving money away. I've told you all this before. Once it reaches a certain amount, then I start. That's why I'm so angry with Cash App, because they've cut mine off. They've cut my Cash App off. I guess I was giving out too much money, blessing too many people. AWB, the average wine band. And if I ever lose this heaven, right here on Bedtime Stories. The show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed, but never to sleep, with the greatest love songs of all time. To your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. We're still talking about Twitch, who took his own life at age 40. They say depression is a real thing. It is really real. And as little boys, we're taught not to cry. They said, little boys don't cry. Okay. If a little boy is hurt, he's going to cry. So we're raised to think that we're not supposed to cry. We're not supposed to ask for help. We're not supposed to do anything but just, as they say, suck it up. Phyllis Hyman, a few years ago, took her own life. Ken said something about Marvin Gaye. Marvin Gaye, I don't care what anyone says. Marvin committed suicide. Yes, his father shot him, and he knew his father was going to shoot him. He knew if he lunged at his father was going to protect him, because Marvin was way taller than his little scrawny ass daddy. And Marvin would have killed him. But Marvin knew, because the gun that Marvin gave his father was the one that he used to take his own son's life. It was suicide, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to tell you. Don't think it was anything else. He knew if he lunged at his father would fire shots at him and take his life. So I guess that was his way of saying, okay, well, maybe I'll get into heaven, because it's not suicide, because I didn't shoot myself. But I don't know what he was thinking at that time. Marvin was clinically depressed. Phyllis was depressed. So many people in the business are depressed, but unfortunately, none of them can reach out to other people, or they won't reach out for help. Whether it be mentally or financially. Because, I'll ask y'all in a heartbeat for some money. My Zelle is my phone number, by the way. 773-519-1223. Hello to my son Sincere. He says, just checking in to tell you I love you and I enjoy your night, and I'm going back to work. Well, you do that, son, and you be careful out there, all right? Speaking of people who are gone too soon, here's Vesta, Mary Vesta Williams. This is my other baby. Besides Phyllis, yeah. If Phyllis was my wife, then Vesta was my mistress. Love me some Vesta. Here's the first of two in a row on Bedtime Stories. Such a way to me. Yep. Yep. Marvin was definitely depressed, you know, even with all the accolades that he received, winning the Grammy finally winning a Grammy for sexual healing. He still wasn't satisfied. Failed marriages, the whole thing. Um, his he was torn between, his drugs and sexuality. So, Greg Beasley, what's going on? Yep, but just know that there is help out there. There is a suicide hotline that you can call. There are people you can talk to. There are people out there who will talk to you. If your pastor doesn't have time for you, if he's out playing golf or something, or selling cars, there's always someone who will talk with you. There's someone out there. It's just you have to reach out to them. If you want help, then go after it. Ask for it. Don't wait until it's too late. Because once again, like Russell said, this man was on TikTok a couple of days before taking his own life. And I'm sure he looked normal. I'm sure he didn't have a care in the world, or at least he gave that outward appearance that there was nothing wrong with him. And, he was probably a little upset because he wasn't making the type of money that he used to make when he was on Ellen's show. And that it was so close to Christmas and he couldn't afford to buy his children anything for Christmas. Well, guess what? Now they won't get anything because they don't have a father. They just don't. The Sister Teresa, what's going on? Yeah. I don't understand the dynamic behind the act itself. It becomes unbearable, Greg. It becomes unbearable. It becomes, it gets to a boiling point where you just want to just end it all. That's what it is. It's it's the feeling when you lose a loved one, and it's just so unbearable that you can't look forward to the next day, that you don't want to get up out of bed. That's the only way I can, because I'll tell you, when I was depressed, I didn't have a job. I was just running my little radio station off of 79th and East End, and at night I would go out to eat. Uh, my diet consisted of either a double cheeseburger or Polish from the Polish place up the street. That was it. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to go anywhere. I just wanted to go home. And I knew that that wasn't possible. And I had to deal with it. And I dealt with it. I would, I paid rent at my office and my studio as if I were living there, which I basically was. There was a bathroom there where I used to wash up. Every now and then I would go over to my mom's house and take a shower. But for the most part, that's where I lived, in my office. I had a television, which had cable, and that was it. So, I would monitor the station 24 hours. People would come in and out doing their shows, and I would never step foot. And they knew I was they knew I was next door in the office. They didn't know if I was asleep or not, or if I had company, because that was my house. So that was it. And they left me alone. There were times where they left me alone. I wish they hadn't left me alone. So that's the dynamic of it. It's not having anybody. I mean, I had a cell phone and I had a TV with cable, and I washed up in the sink every day. That's depressing right there. I wasn't able to take a shower. All my belongings were in a closet, and the closet was across the hallway from where my office was. Somebody had the bright idea to cover up my office. I mean, not my office, but the closet. And they just sealed it off. And they took all my stuff and put it in the basement of the building. If that ain't depressing enough, I don't know what is. I lived in my office. I had no address. All my mail came to whatever the address was, east on 79th Street. I would, until I got a place to stay, which was up the street at the Montclair, where I was staying with a friend. I was walking home, which meant I had to walk across one of the most dangerous streets in Chicago, which was Stony Island, South Chicago at 79th Street at night, just to get home to sleep on a love seat. Finally found a job, but still, I had no house. I had no permanent address. Two in a row from Vesta. That is special right here on Bedtime Stories. To peanut butter brother Dr. Al Greer. Hello to the Sister Teresa. Thank you so much. I hope to see you at my birthday party, my birthday brunch at the New Look Restaurant, 2544 East 83rd Street, this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. I hope everybody comes out and helps me celebrate. My actual birthday is December 23rd, which is next Friday. But, with my birthday being so close to Christmas, I said, well, every year I'm going to have it at least a week before my birthday on that Saturday. So far it's been working out. And I've had a lot of people come out and, help me support or help me celebrate, I should say, my birthday. So December 17th, unless you're listening to this broadcast at another time, then you missed it. But this Saturday, December 17th, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., I hope to see you guys out there, especially you, Sister Teresa. I haven't seen you in a while, so hope to see you this Saturday. If you're not too busy, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., the New Look Restaurant, 2544 East 83rd Street. That's 83rd in Colfax. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer, and this is Atlantic Star. And let's get closer, shall we? It's Bedtime Stories with the peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Excuse me, I must go to the little boy's room. I'm back. Oh boy. Still waiting for my tender roast. Okay. Just how strong. Waiting for my tender roast. Yeah, I'm gonna get back into cooking. I don't know why. I just thought about that. I should get back into the cooking thing. Barbara Murphy Dunn, what's going on? I remember I used to cook when I was I used to post pictures of me with a box of hamburger helper, like, you know, crazy then. But, I would get me a pound of either lean ground beef or what was the other one? Or ground turkey. And I would make spaghetti or, turkey tacos or whatever. So that was it. That's what I did. Yeah. Then I got older, and that was it. Yeah, didn't want to do that no more. Yep. As a matter of fact, ironic because um, one night I cooked for this young lady. I expected her to come over, and she never made it. I don't know how many times I've told this story, and she never came over. Um, there was no explanation. She never. I called and called. She never answered her phone. Um, and I didn't see her for a long time. And then finally, I did see her, and to her, it was no big deal. I just didn't show up. You know, she just never showed up, and I guess she thought, "Hey, I don't owe you any explanation." I threw out a whole pot of spaghetti. I didn't want it. I made garlic bread. I had salad. I had spaghetti. She never showed up. Victor Jackson, what's going on, Slick Vic? So that was it. Um, I mean, talk about being depressed. I was depressed then because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't understand it. I threw the spaghetti out. What did you tell her you were cooking? Spaghetti. Well, actually, I never. I never. I told her I was cooking for her, but I never told her what was on the menu. But when I finally did see her, I told her I threw out a whole pot of spaghetti. And once again, I never got, I'm sorry, no explanation, none whatsoever. You know? What you said, if it was snow, we'd be in serious trouble. I know, right? So once again, I threw out a whole pot of spaghetti. I didn't want it. I mean, I had a table set and everything. I'm just sitting there, you know. Table was set. I mean, candles, the whole thing. Nothing. Anita Baker, and you belong to me right here on Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Hello to Victor Jackson, also to Barbara Murphy Dunn, and to who else was on my live? Oh, the Sister Teresa. Yes, definitely the Sister Teresa. Once again, and Greg Beasley. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this Saturday is my birthday brunch, 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. at the New Look Restaurant, 2544 East 83rd Street. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody that's on my Facebook Live now. And I know that's not possible that everybody's going to show up, but it's always the people that I don't expect to come, and it's always a pleasant surprise. Like I remember one year I had the party, and the first guest got there, and I was like, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe my eyes. My first guest was Gene Chandler, of all people. And Gene said, did I come on the right day? Am I supposed to be here? And of course, he never confirmed that he was coming, or nor denied it either. But he was the first guest at my party, and everybody's like, is that Gene Chandler, the guy that made Duke of Earl? I said, sure is. Most certainly is. Anyway, it's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. And this from Smokey Robinson. Just going to ask, was Gene coming? Did he have his cape on? No, he didn't. But of course, I did send him the flyer and everything else. So hopefully he got it, and hopefully he will show up this year again. You know, don't want to upset or disturb anyone's night by this question. Go right ahead. Dennis Treadwell. It's amazing how you carry on a whole show while looking left, right, all kinds of dead airtime, but you still hold people's attention. This still of broadcasting belongs to you only. Thank you, Dennis. I don't know what that means, but okay. That's what I do night after night. Monday through Wednesday, and even on Thursday. That's my style of broadcasting. It's that of I'm um, very transparent, and I'm working at the same time. Now, if I had someone working my board like they do at WVON, then I wouldn't have to look left and right. I'm sorry that that bothers you, but okay. Like, no one else seems to care whether I'm looking up and down. I'm actually looking at this computer over here, which is playing the music. The camera is on this computer monitor in front of me, and then on the other side, the comments that come through on Facebook. So that's how it's set up, sir. But I'm sorry that looking back and forth and stuff disturbs you. I do apologize. But no one else has complained, but I'm sorry. That's how we do it here in radio. Smokey Robinson, and you are my present right here on Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. The show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. It is that time again. It's time for Foreplay. 4 songs by one of your favorite artists and groups. I don't know if I've done this artist before, but we're going to find out who it is right after we do the Grubhub delivery dance. Let's do it, shall we? Push. A show lounge where Gatling's funeral home is. There was. I just can't remember what it was. Grubhub is a proud sponsor of Bedtime Stories here on WOSD Radio DV Chicago, WDLB Indianapolis in Chicago, and of course the best music of your life, WRLN. It is your peanut butter brother, and it's time for a little foreplay. Hello to Dennis Treadwell, who has a problem with my eyes roving. You should see my my brother. His name is Guy Black. You should see his eyes. They go back and forward. He wears sunglasses sometimes because he's got that thing where his eyes, do that. So when his eyes go, so he wears very dark glasses. But anyway, this young lady hails from Puerto Rico. She started singing as young as 5 or 6 years old. She signed with the jazz label GRP and made such beautiful music. Her contract, of course, got bought out by a larger record company, which was Arista. She, a few years ago, unfortunately had a stroke, which robbed her of that beautiful voice of hers. But she still lives on wax. Tonight, we feature in Foreplay the music of Angela Bofill, right here on Bedtime Stories, with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. It was Glover Washington's birthday yesterday. Yeah, it was, as a matter of fact, which is which is unfortunate because Grover died, I think, a few days after his birthday, and he was on television. They said he was coming out to play, and he just fell out on the set of the TV show. So Barbara said, I knew you were talking about Angela Bofill. I loved her voice too. I still do. I'm sorry, Dennis. I'm looking at down here again. I apologize. I'll try to do better. Yeah. But but it's hard, when you're the only one in here running what they call a combo. When you're running a combo, that means you're working your own board, playing your own music, pulling your own music. And yeah. So once again, I apologize for if that's getting on your nerves. I'm sorry. Yeah. So I'm going to try to look up from now on. You know, it'd be easy if I was like Biggie. I could have one eye over there. Is that true? When people have that that stigmatism, do they can they like one eye can be on is that possible? I don't know. Anyway, Dennis said I ain't messing with you no more. I got into her first. I saw her in concert at the Chicago Fest. Jane Byrne first started at Navy Pier, which is interesting because Chicago Fest turned into the Taste of Chicago. And I remember a friend of mine, he was in this contest. It was a DJ contest. And it was sponsored by WJPC Radio, which I ended up working for a few years later. Fortunate for him, I was there at the time because he found that he couldn't DJ and rap at the same time. So there were two turntables there, and I went over there and I started playing behind him. And we created a routine there on the spot. And, we became friends. He did the rapping and I did the spinning. So before there was Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, there was, DJ Al Greer and Dr. Groove. So long time ago. Barbara said I got to talk to her at the stage set. I never got a chance to meet her before her stroke, and great voice, but just never got a chance to meet her. She wasn't one of my favorite singers, but she was a very good singer that, became one of my favorites. I love me some Phyllis. I love Vesta, Nancy Wilson, that whole thing, but Angie was good, Angie was, she was great at what she did. Kevin Worley, what's going on, brother Kev? I hope you're coming to my birthday brunch on Saturday. If you're not working, I know this is the time of year where, UPS will have you humping. But if you can, brother, I would appreciate to see you. And bring my family too. I know Kelly ain't coming. Kelly don't. I used to tease Kelly all the time. I said, you don't go nowhere but work and church, don't you? I go out. I'm out now. Kelly. I mean, out on a date, to the show, to dinner, breakfast, something like that. I go out. We're not talking about church outings. That's my girl. Katrina, on the other hand, she goes everywhere. That's my girl. But Kelly, We humping, Al. I'll try if I'm not working. I know you are. See, brother, you have an excuse. You know, these other jokers, they have no excuse. But yeah, Ken, um, Angela has a distinctive style. You know, she has her phrasing is different. You know, you know, she's soulful and everything else. And everybody thought she was black. I'm like, she Puerto Rican. She might as well be black, I guess. Excuse me while I eat my Subway. Hmm. Now, those two songs that you just heard were produced by Narada Michael Walden. Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm sorry, Narda. Yep. Her first two albums were, of course, produced in-house by Dave Grusin. But then she needed a little bit more R&B flavor. So she kind of crossed over from, the jazz to R&B. So not enough. What I wanna give you more. Dave Grusin. Mm-hmm. Preston Shanks, what's going on? Mm-hmm. I thought. Yeah. Even though I'm not supposed to be looking left and right and all of that stuff. So, you know. Mm-mm. I'm sure Dennis has unfriended me by now. You whippersnapper, you smarty. Mm-mm. Like, how is it you can sit up and eat on the air and still command someone's attention? Lucky, I guess. Mm-mm. Slick Vic, where you at, man? Preston. Let me scroll back up. It seems like it's never enough. I know that's right. You can say that again. It said Angela helped me through some relationship issues years ago. All right. Which is interesting because all of her songs, you know, are like something that a man would sing to a woman. I tried to do, what I can for you. You know, this time I'll be sweeter. You know, it's almost like it's the other side. I'm on your side when times get hard. You know, which are songs that a man would sing to a woman. Come on, baby. I'm on your side when times get hard. You know, I got your back, girl. Girl. Speaking of which, Kim on Saturday, I'll tell you, you know, his use of the word girl in every song. Over the moon and under the stars. Mm-mm. I tried. That song's got that sound like it was recorded at Van Gelder Studio. What y'all know about that? Rudy Van Gelder Studio? All the best jazz cuts. Barbara said I'm making her hungry. I don't mean to. This is just a turkey, um, foot long turkey from Subway from earlier. Mm-hmm. That's Kim's trademark. Girl. It's like he puts that in every song. Girl. I'll be a better man for you, girl. Like, mm. Oh, Van Gelder Studio is in Inglewood Cliffs, New Jersey. Share my life, baby. Share my life. Yay, 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 yay. Mm, mm, mm. Don't leave me standing in the dark. Mm, 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 mm. Oh, no problem. You know, that's how I keep their attention, Dennis. You know, not the roving eyes, but the information that I spit out. You know, every now and then they like to hear, you know, radio personalities spit out knowledge about the music instead of, yeah, that's that new joint by so and such and such. No history, of course. Hmm. But, Kim put the word girl in every song. I'm convinced that is his favorite word. Girl, girl, girl. Mm-mm. His wife must love him. Girl, I'm telling you, it's in every song. To be a better man, girl. I'm telling you. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna play some Kim. Be like, nobody talks on radio like old school radio. You're right. You're right, Preston. You say barbecue wings? Now you're making me hungry. Mm-mm. Now you're making me hungry. But I'm going to finish eating my sandwich. Mm-mm. The other night when I went to Subway, I told the girl what I wanted. It was a new girl. She put spinach on my sandwich. I'm like, I did not ask for spinach. Never mind. Don't take it off. Leave it alone. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And me. You're a Gale on the guitar. Ooh, baked potato and salad. Ooh, bro, you better stop. You likely to get stalked by me. That's one of the things I miss about being married to a chef, boy. The kitchen stayed open 24 hours. 24 hours. Mm-mm. Yeah, don't let me get up in the middle of the night and try to make a sandwich. What you doing in the kitchen? Oh, I was making a sandwich. That ain't no sandwich. She would go in the kitchen and whip up something. Next thing I hear is bread toasting and meat sizzling in the pan. And what? She said, now this is a sandwich. I'm like, okay. Sandwich be like that thick. I'm like, can't get my mouth around it. It's like you can put a loaf of bread on this, a loaf of bread and a pound of meat and a jar of mayonnaise. I'm like, you know, lettuce, tomatoes. She cut everything up. That's a sandwich. Okay, show off. Excuse me. Doggone show off. So what? You went to Lakota and Blue. Mm-mm. Yes, I was quite impressed. Yes. Yeah. What happened to everybody else? I guess, people don't like to be called out, but they like to call you out. I'm just saying. You go back to that comment. I want to pin comment. I bet you I won't be able to find it now. It's amazing how you carry on a whole show while looking left, right, up, and down with all kinds of dead air time, but you still hold people's attention. Is this still this still a broadcasting belongs only to you? Thank you, Dennis, once again. Ooh, I love lasagna. Ooh, girl. I love some lasagna, boy. Love me some lasagna. Mm-mm. Oh no, Dennis took the listeners with him. Okay. Mm-mm. Yes, I amaze myself sometimes. I amaze me. Yes. Ooh, foreplay's over with. Wrapping up foreplay with Angela. Well, she just says Angela. Angela Bofield. I'm on your side right here on Bedtime Stories. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you guys as always. Thank you so much. Barbara Murphy Dunn, Preston Shanks, Ken Wadlington, and Dennis Treadwell. He was like, how do you look left and up and down and still hold on to conversation and have dead air on the radio? I haven't had any dead air, sir, in in quite a while, but thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. I mean, for looking and observing. Thank you. I learned from the best who could look up and down and around. So anyway, Barbara Murphy is talking about making lasagna after I just had a sandwich. I'm sorry, a sandwich. And I'm really insulted right now, Barbara, that you're talking about lasagna. I'm like, okay, I will drop off a pan this month. All right. Well, the month is almost over. Well, not really. The month just got started, but I love lasagna. I remember when I was married. Anyway, here's the first funeral from Kim. Girl. On the phone. Mm-mm. Come on. I know.
Little mama's my favorite thing.
Woo!
Kind of girl that make your heart sing. No love, you can't understand. Nobody the back of my hands. So hold the strength way down south. To the limit, where it touch your mouth and the power. Make you feel so good. Swallow.
Like a grown man should. Come on. He did that little rap at concert, boy. They were like, oh, and he can rap? Okay. All right. Mm-mm. My favorite girl. I'm gone. Food warmed up now. I'm going to eat. Right, just rub it in, Barbara. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Rub it in, please. Why don't you? Bow, 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 bow. Mm-mm. Yeah, just go right ahead. Just rub it in, sweetheart. But enjoy your food. Yeah. I think I'll eat the rest of these Cheetos tonight. Mmm. Somebody bought me a whole $5 bag of Cheetos, and I've been eating them the last 3 days. You know, I figure I better get to them before the mice do. Mm-mm. Happy holidays to you too, Barbara. Yeah, save me some lasagna there. Save me some hair. Look at that. Look at her. Yeah, I'm just not ready to go totally bald. If it's still coming out of my head, I'm gonna still, swirl it around. It's actually still growing, I guess. I don't know. I stopped looking until now. It kind of caught my eye when I put my head down. So, most black men, when their hair falls out, they just shave their heads and say, forget about it. And this one strand up here and just stretch it all the way to the back. You know, I got an uncle who has a ponytail and his hair still grows up here and he just grows it as long as he can and, hooks it to the ponytail. I don't know. Good night, Barbara. Thank you. Yep. Save me some lasagna, please. I appreciate that. Girl. Oh, yeah, I have my own pan. Trust me. I still got pans left over from Thanksgiving. favorite word in every song. Girl, girl. He was doing a little scatting on Saturday, doing a little Al Jarreau, and he mentioned Al. It's like I don't think Al Jarreau liked him when he was when Al was alive. He's like, this little brother sounded just like me. I can't even tell records. Nah, they both sound similar though, but Kim has got that soulful sound. Al Jarreau's good too. I'm gonna play some Al Jarreau before I get out of here. Right here on Bedtime Stories. Barbara Murphy Dunn, you better save me some lasagna, girl. Girl. Here's the SOS band. Tell me if you still care. It's Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Boom, boom. So if you guys can't make it on Saturday, you know, you can always send cash, which I know is not going to happen either, but it's cool. Love for me. If you still care about me. Tell me. What up, John Caldwell? Yes, you are late, but better late than never. You know what I always say. Yeah, better late than never. Thanks so much for joining us here. Let's try this again. I kind of like that one because it's different. But I keep knocking it down every time I move. My chair knocks it down. So I've been drinking on this all night. It finally watered down. I don't know what they put in that lemonade at Subway. It's like it's strong. Even watered down with all the ice that I could put in the cup, it's still tart. But that's what you expect out of lemonade, right? Was on FaceTime with my daughter and grandson. Cool. My my daughter had me on the big screen the other night. And my grandson was like, "How old is Papa?" He old. He old. When you got to sneak up so it's so strong. I know, right? Mm-mm. Rum. Okay. You trying to get me? You trying to get me drunk? You think Dennis was talking about me then? Wait till I've had some rum. It's gonna be one then. Yeah, it's gonna be all kind of eye rolling and stuff. It's gonna be like eyes rolling to the back of my head. I won't be looking at no screens. I'll be looking at the back of my brain. Like, You know. Mm, mm, mm. But that's okay. My daughter will hit me up on Messenger and kind of play my show in front of the kids. You know, hopefully at the WVON Christmas party. Or you're going to the because I'm not going. I got to work that night. It's this Friday, as a matter of fact. So hope they don't expect to see my butt there. I gotta be at Williams and Pizza at 7 o'clock. So hope they enjoy themselves. You know, I would love to break bread with my fellow coworkers, but unfortunately, I have to break bread over where I get paid. And it is now crunch time, okay? Because rent is right around the corner. Light bill is due, and the baby needs shoes. So, yeah, it's time to pay that. Well, I got a few more weeks, so it's good. But WVON Christmas party? No, I don't think so. I hope they take a head count and don't count my head, please. Mm-mm. But you say real dough. I know, right? Oh, no. Do, 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 do. Tell me. Whenever they do this song in concert, it's like they come out from behind their instruments and the music's still going. I'm like, okay, who's playing right now? Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis are playing right now. Oh, by the way, I think I forgot to say this. Don't forget to share the video on your page where it says like, comment, and share. Just hit share. You know, when they see that little ticker tape going at the bottom, in the blue, yeah. Might have to make that another color because people, they never pay attention to that. I can't understand that. I'm like, what's really going on? Why y'all don't see that? Y'all just choose to ignore it. I'm like, okay, but on the other hand, if I was, what's his name? Roland Martin, he does it all the time. Donations are welcome via Zelle. You're like, we're not sending you any money, Al. You are not Roland Martin, okay? You rolling your eyes. That's about it. Yes. And no, Dennis, I'm not going to let that go. No. Maybe I'll get some money for my birthday. People usually put money in cards. That'd be nice. Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, yeah, that's it. Yeah. nobody else. Don't you know I would die for you? Come on now. Don't you know I would die for you? This is my promise to you. This is my promise to you. You. Make my life complete. Ooh, ooh, baby, you're all worse. Only because you come first. Yeah, maybe I get enough money to pay my phone bill. That'd be cool. Yeah. Wouldn't that be cool? Yes. I promise you, baby, love you and nobody else. For the rest of my life, baby, you know, because you come first. I promise you, baby, love you and nobody else. That's right. You come first, baby. Wanna love you, gonna love you because you come first. Mm. Yes, my promise. Woo! From the album Phoenix Rising, The Temptations. And this is my promise on bedtime. What? What? Stop it. What's wrong with my mic? Wait till almost the end of the show to start messing up. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Thank you so much, as always, for checking me out here on these fine radio stations. Let me look at some of my comments here. Let me say, here's Johnny. What does that mean, Ken? And what happened to? I guess I'm gonna have to wait till I get off the air to call AJ Parker to see what she's doing these days. Maybe she'll come to my birthday party on Saturday between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. at the New Look Restaurant, 2544 East 83rd Street. I know, shameless plug, right? Yeah, I'm gonna keep plugging it. So I'm gonna try to pack the place. I'm gonna have people outside. We all know that ain't gonna happen, right? Even they have a tent outside too. It should be pretty cool. It should be very cold. Here's the first of two in a row from Al Jarreau. I knew. And Keith Sweat just told me to turn off Al Greer and listen to him. uh, did he really? Yeah, right. Keith Sweat has no idea who I am. I wish. Yeah, right. That's like him giving me a plug. Yeah, turn off Al Greer and listen to, yeah. Mm-mm. Only if that were true. If that were true. Keith Sweats just told me to turn off Al Greer. Listen to him. uh, I don't think he has any idea who I am. None whatsoever. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Faithful and true. True. Be the one to hold you in my arms. I know, right? Just kidding. I know. Keith Sweat has no idea who I am. None whatsoever. If he did, I'm sure it was leaked to him. You know, probably this is your competition. Oh man, I know I sound better than that, man. He sounds like a freaking goat. That is crazy. Thanks, Ken. But wouldn't that be something? Be mentioned on the air, yeah. We all know that ain't gonna happen, right? Baby. Too. Where are my scissors? I had some scissors around here. I hate to pull, if something is loose, especially on a sweater, I hate to pull it because the whole sleeve will come off. I don't want that to happen. Oh, well, never mind. The scissors that I'm thinking of are at work. I keep forgetting. Anyway, what happened to the Steppers station? Good question. My mom always said, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. Ego, bye bye. Stepper station, go bye bye. Oh, they're all gone. Oh, you mean I'm out of time? Oh, man. Time sure flies when you're having fun, right? Al Jarreau, so good. And after all, that's going to do it for your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Thank you so much for staying up with me. I really appreciate you guys. Don't forget, this Saturday, it's my birthday brunch at the New Look Restaurant, 2544 East 83rd Street. That's 83rd and I think Colfax, that's the nearest street, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Admission is absolutely free. Now, you might have to pay for your food or your drinks because they have a bar there. So you might have to pay for your own drinks because I'm not helping you get loaded, okay? I plan to get loaded myself. But anyway, thank you so much, Ken Watlington, also to John Caldwell, Barbara Murphy Dunn for teasing me with the food, Dennis Treadwell, I should say. Thank you, Dennis, for the radio tips. And of course, As always, my brother from another mother, Mr. Victor Jackson. Appreciate you guys. And of course, Troy Anthony, too. I know Troy's not coming to my party anyway. Well, he's out of town, so I know he's not going to come. Till next time, blue skies, green lights, and peace. We'll see you Saturday at the New Look Restaurant, 2544 East on 83rd Street, 11 a.m. a.m., not p.m., all right? If you come at 12, 11 at night, you might be by yourself. Anyway, I know Ken's not coming. He don't come out. But if you do, or if you don't, just send money. That's always good. Zelle, 773-519-1223. Peace out, y'all. Good night. Cool. Stogies always work, yeah. Better than nothing. Stogies are better than nothing. So now I can look down, up and down and all around as much as I want to now because I'm about to go to bed. Thank you so much once again, guys. Appreciate you all. Dennis, I was only kidding. I don't know if you were kidding, but I was only kidding. All right. Take care, guys.